Hi Year 4, ready for chapter 27? Let's go. Razor led the way onto the track, starting across the bridge at a brisk pace. It was rusty, paint was peeling off the metal. Looking down through the gaps, Varjak could see the river moving far below. Quick now, said Razor, quick! They raced forwards. Varjak's paw pads stung on the cold, rusty metal. His fur ruffled in the wind. The river was so wide. Fast as they ran, crossing the bridge seemed to take forever. Behind him he could hear the Scratch sisters muttering and the twins muttering back. The tension was still there. As long as they got over this bridge before the next train came through, Varjak didn't care. Not far now, not far. Halt! Came a voice from ahead. They were almost over the river, just a few paces from the other side, but before them now were the glinting eyes of cats. Sally Bones's cats guarding the bridge that shouldn't have been guarded. Leading them was Uzi, one of the Luger's lieutenants. Out of the way, croaked Razor. Razor, said Uzi, I don't believe it. What are you doing with those stinking outlaws? Better believe it, said Razor. Now stand aside. The Bones cats dropped into a tight defensive formation. They didn't look like they were going to back off. Varjak frowned. He could feel the railway track vibrating, like the metal was being violently shaken. It could only be one thing, the next train coming. How were they going to get past before it came through? We're here to get Varjak Paw, said Uzi. Sally Bones wants him, dead or alive. The rest of you can go. We'll forget we ever saw you, but Varjak Paw is ours. Varjak glanced around, suddenly uncertain. What if the Scratch sisters or Razors turned him in? But they spat at the Bones' cat. Big words, Uzi, said Eliza Scratch. Get out of our way before you get hurt. Hurt, said Uzi, baring his teeth, is what we do best. Please don't fight, cried Jess. It's mad. Can't we all just get off this bridge? I think there's a train coming. The vibrations were building beneath Varjak's paws, growing stronger every second. She's right, he said. If you don't let us through, we'll all be killed. The Bones cats held their ground. The whole bridge was shaking now. He could hear the rattling roar coming closer. The train coming closer. A headlight lit up the track in blazing colours. Panisha Scratch licked her lips, touched the raw end of her ear and flicked out her claws. Now watch this, she growled. See what a great fighter can do? She knifed forwards into the Bones' cats, claws blurring, flashing, slashing, and ripped a hole in their defences. Eliza burst forwards through the hole. Militia went with her, then Varjak and Jess. Omar and Ozzy. The Bones cats couldn't stop them. Panisha was as much as they could deal with, the one-eared cat, on fire with a vengeance. The whole bridge was shaking and rattling, and Varjak could feel the force of the wind on his neck, but he was clear through now and running free. A platform opened up on his left. He leaped onto the platform away from the train and its deadly wind. He turned and saw Panisha Scratch, proud and undefeated, still locked in battle with the Bones' cat. But behind them, huge, dazzling, blinding, deafening, the train with its single headlight screamed towards them like death coming through the night. Panisha! Yelled Eliza. Sister! And then the train thundered through, and Varjak couldn't see any more. Couldn't hear, couldn't speak. His whole body filled with the terrible thud, crack and roar, and he could feel the wind crushing his fur as an endless chain of carriages rushed past, one by one by one, just a whisker's breadth away. Only when he could hear once more and the deadly wind had passed did he dare to open his eyes. His friends were sprawled on the platform behind him. Their fur and ears were flat, their eyes clenched tight in terror. He looked back at the railway bridge. There was no trace of the Bones cat or Panisha Scratch. The train had claimed them all. They were gone. He shook his head. I can't believe this, he thought. We've crossed the river, but we've lost Tam at one end and poor Panisha at the other. We're 2 down already, and we're not even close to Sally Bones. And that is the end of chapter 27. So we've got chapter 28, so 1 chapter, chapter 29, that's 2, Chapter 30, that's 3. And chapter 31, 4. 4 chapters to go. Right, what's going to happen? Bye-bye, Year 4.